Mona Lisa, tell me why you go. Why you go? Why you go? Why you go? Mona Lisa, tell me why you go. Why you go?
YouTube, what's happening? It's your guy Hitch. I am unexpectedly really excited for today's review because anyone that's a subscriber of my channel knows I'm a huge New Balance fan and I've enjoyed most of their collaborations. Now, one of those collaborations that I've kind of missed out on was Salehe Bembury, and I know he's been smoking his collaboration with Crocs, but the work that he's done with New Balance hasn't really interested me too much until now. So back in April, he closed out his Communication Workwear Collection with 3 new colorways for the 574s, including this white and pink and 2 others. And to be honest with you, I thought these were trash. Now getting them in hand, I think I made a mistake.
Bite the apple if I find it. No strings like a Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Mayweather, jab, left, right. Sticky if you're nasty. High five, waistline, ass cheek, slow grind, slip, glide. You ain't got a lie in front of me. Shout out to the women that get how you wanna leave. I won't get in your way of being free. I don't have a gavel, you can fuck me in a team. I'ma keep it GC 103. You're looking for something special, you just stop looking at me. Just answer when I call. I got 99 problems, but with you I'm unbothered. Mona Lisa, tell me why you go. Why you go? Why you go? Make it bang. Mona Lisa, tell me why you go. Why you go? Why you go? Why you go? Mona Lisa, tell me why you go. Why you go? Why you go? Make it bang go. Make it bang go. Make it bang go.
Salehe completely redesigned the 574 to be able to give us these 574 Yurts when you compare this to what the original 574 looks like. Now, me personally, to be able to completely redesign a sneaker is just dope to me. The original 574 is a hybrid trail road sneaker, and he's turned it into a completely full-fledged adventurer sneaker. The sneaker is extremely bulky, and part of that comes from the white long hair suede overlays that makes up most of the uppers. And the suede is not soft, and it makes sense because it is an adventurer sneaker, but it still moves with your finger and is quality. Below the suede, you're going to have a white thick mesh material on the toe box and wrapping around the ankle collars. And when you go back to the toe box, you have 2 blue strip accents added there to finally give the sneaker some color. Continuing with the color theme, on the medial side of the toe box, you have a burgundy leather accent overlay added. And then to get your loudest pop, they add in a hot pink color using leather on the end logos on the lateral and medial sides.
Why you go? Why you go? Why you go? Mona Lisa, tell me why you go. Why you go? Why you go? Why you go?
There are some additional details to call out for the materials used and features on the uppers. For starters, the burgundy and pink leather materials feel like they have hardened textures to them, which makes sense when you're thinking about durability for an adventurer sneaker. Then the blue accents from the toe box can also be found on the last eyelet on the lateral and medial sides. The only difference is the materials are different. On the eyelets, it's soft leather. The materials on the toe box is one of my favorites, and that is 3M. Going back to the eyelets, you have a black tag on the lateral sides that have Salehe Bembury's name in white. I just like the subtle detail that adds to it. And finally, the most notable feature on the uppers is going to be the plastic unit added to the heel, which is actually a mouthpiece, a real life functioning mouthpiece. So if you are on an adventure and need help, you can actually use it. That is fine.
You know you the jelly to my butter roll. I could be your moonshine all around your globe. Girl, you got my heart chain like Django. Be my Nia Long, Love Jones, I'm Lorenzo. Be your morphine, make your pain go.
The tongue on these 574s are extremely thin, as it's legitimately a piece of long hair suede, but they do add stability to it by stitching in a blue canvas material. At the top of the tongue is a white tag that says New Balance Yurt 574, and they come laced with these pretty cool flat white laces that have dipped blue anglets to them. The anglets help make sure the sneakers are tied at all times. And on the inside of the sneaker, you have a hot pink lining, and down at the bottom is a very thin insole in blue that has a white New Balance logo and says Salehe Bembury on it. I mentioned before how bulky this sneaker is, and most of that comes from the midsole and outsole. Essentially, he wanted to exaggerate the midsole and outsole of the 574, so what he did was, using a white absorbed midsole, added some pink pods to the lateral sides, and then right below that last pink pod, he also added in a burgundy roll bar to the midsole for stability and support. That's kind of just crazy to me. Finally, you have a completely pink outsole that's also bulky, but it does have some multicolored paint splatter. And down at the heel area, you have your New Balance text in white.
I'm talking about double parking. Whatever you do, I got it. If not, then I can acquire. Xanax to Oxycontin, you could lean on me. Or roll if you even wanna. I was high one night and convinced myself that I loved her, but I'm high more than not influenced to live in the subtext.
I'm low-key blown away by these 574 Yurts because I was expecting to get them in hand and double down on my initial thought of them being horrible, and they're not. For a collaborator to completely redesign a sneaker and make them attractive, I think is amazing. If somebody were to hand this to you and say, hey, what New Balance model is that from? I don't think anybody would guess 574. At least I know I couldn't. And what's also dope is he pulled in inspiration from other models. That toe box is from the 990 V3s. The tongue is pulling in inspiration from the 755s. Again, amazing. And I'm not saying that this is the greatest sneaker since sliced bread, because they do have an acquired taste to them. But I'm really impressed by how good they look on feet, especially casually. So on a scale of 1 to 5, these are getting a 3. They dropped back on April 22nd for $155, and they did sell out. But the resale does not really exist, because the resale is the retail. So if you do want to pick up a pair, you can do that, or go to my favorite sneaker app, which is Trade Block. They are comfortable. For all that bulk, you are getting comfort. Now I'm actually going to see if I like the gray pair that he dropped a couple months ago. Now, I am interested. What do y'all think about them? Hit the comments, let me know. But before you do it, subscribe to my channel. I'm out.